All right, Derek, what was your question?
All right. So with sending out the terms, I've noticed that in like the videos and stuff, like from Calvin and Hamels, that
Hmm.
they cut out the term, like the
Oh,
term
I see
length.
what I see what you mean. Okay.
So that's what I've been doing.
Let me guess.
But
You've been getting a lot of questions from realtors saying, well, how long is the term?
no, well, fan 22, another like person in the Discord, she sends like her offers and like ask you about them. And she said that you said to add in a 10-year balloon. Is that just for that deal or is it just like across the board?
So here's the deal. Most people, let me start over. There's a difference between on market and off market. And I'm actually doing a series that I'm going to pull out for you guys for doing off market stuff. Deal Sniper is more on market focused, but if you guys are in here, you might as well get the whole package. But for now, if I were dealing with the seller directly, no realtor involved, then I wouldn't mention the term unless they ask me about it because most sellers don't ask for the term, they ask for the balloon. Hey, well, how long? When can I get paid off? And most of them don't even ask that if you're dealing directly with the seller. Most
Yeah.
deals, I don't ever, like, balloon doesn't come up when I talk to sellers. When I talk to realtors, it always comes up. But when I'm talking to a seller, it doesn't come up at all. So if you're talking about on market deals and balloons, you have to remember that you can use a balloon to make a deal work. But for the most part, our experience shows that investors don't particularly like balloons. And the shorter the balloon, the uglier it makes your deal look. So if you are going to offer a balloon or you have to offer one to get the deal closed, and you're also adding or leaving in the term for that deal, then yeah, at the end of the term, so it's, on Deal Sniper, it says, 24 years, 9 months. Right after the S in 9 months, space, balloon, 10 to 12 years, or 7 to 10 years, or 12 to 15. And the range depends on the purchase price. So to make it simple, if you're at $100,000 purchase price or less, you can do a 3 to 5 year balloon. If you're over $100,000 to about $350,000, 7 to 10 year balloon. If you're above $350,000 purchase price, you probably shouldn't be doing that in the first place. But if you are, then you probably want to go anywhere from a 12 to 15 year balloon. And the lower number that I gave you on all those ranges is your minimum. Like, you shouldn't go lower than that, especially if
Hmm.
my team to help you disposition the deal. If you're going to move the deal yourself, hey, sky's the limit. You can do a 1 year balloon on $1 million purchase price. I don't care. But if you expect my team to help you move the deal, it's got to stay within certain parameters because we know what our buyers will buy.
Got you. Yeah, because I think my issue currently is the homes I've been like prospecting on, they're priced too high.
Yeah, I usually tell people to stick to like 350 and $350,000 purchase price, and that's including what Deal Sniper is adding on top. So if you're filtering out your properties, I would filter them out at 300,000 or less, and then implement them into Deal Sniper. It'll add its money because I don't think Deal Sniper is even programmed to add $50,000 to a purchase price, unless it's like $1 million property or $500,000 property.
And then when it comes to like the fees and stuff, like with doing on market, do you pitch that you'll pay the realtor's commission?
You can. It's a strategy. So there's pros and cons both ways. You cannot pitch it or you can pitch it. The problem with most real estate agents is that they think, believe, or have experienced a bad wholesaler screwing them over. And by screwing them over, that can cover a big, broad subject, but most importantly, stealing the deal from them, taking their money out of their pocket in the form of commissions. So you can, on one side, let the real estate agent know straight out the gate, hey, I'm not trying to steal your deal. Not only am I not trying to steal your commissions, but I can build it into the deal so you're guaranteed to get paid. Like, you can force that out right then and there in the beginning, and that will hedge your bet. as far as getting them to move forward with you once they find out that you're a wholesaler. That's a good thing. Here's the bad thing. You don't know what they're charging. Now, granted, we're only going to pay up to 3%, but think about it. Let's say you have a $300,000 purchase price, right? Total.
Yep.
And you figure out your down payment and all that stuff. But then you immediately, you've already told the real estate agent that you'll cover their commission, and their commission is 3%. Now you're adding $9,000 to your entry fee, which is going to absolutely raise your entry fee percentage. So you need to be spot on and really not move away from the deal sniper down payment that it recommended if you're going to be adding realtor commissions. What you probably will not be able to do 99% of the time is do a maximum of 10% down of the purchase price. And on top of that, do 3% for realtor commission. Then on top of that, have your $10,000 minimum assignment fee. Now, I say minimum, that's what my team does. You guys can charge a $500 assignment fee for all I care. I'm just trying to tell you, worst case scenario, this is what the numbers are going to look like. So you just got to kind of balance it out. You know what I mean? If your entry fee percentage is too high, it's not that big of a deal or uncommon for you to call the real estate agent or email them and say, look, I really think we can get this deal moved, but we're a little high in one area. I've already, committed to taking a certain cut off of my fee that I'm going to charge my buyer. Is there any way you can come down to maybe 2%? That one extra percent, on a $300,000 purchase price, that's $3,000. That can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Or you can negotiate, hey, can we just do a flat $5,000 fee just to get this house sold? It's been on the market for X amount of days. Let's just get it done. So you can do that. You just got to balance it out. So just be careful however you're doing it. Use the calculator. The calculator will tell you. And when I say calculator, I mean the DCM calculator, the deal machine calculator. I should rename that. That's a really long name. Anyway, that calculator. No, that doesn't even flow right. Now I got to think of something. Anyway, I might rename the calculator on you guys. Just go with it. Anyway, use the calculator because it'll always tell you what the total entry fee percentage is, what your cash on cash return is. And it's a great way to play with the numbers to see what actually works, once you put a deal in here. And I'm sure someone on this call is going to have a deal for me to underwrite. So once I do that, I can actually manipulate the numbers and I show you what I'm talking about. Just remind me in case I forget.
Got you. And then it would be the same for closing costs, I would assume, yeah?
So we estimate the closing costs, and on all of our disposition material, it says entry fee, which doesn't include the closing costs at all. So it includes it on our calculator. Disposition is a whole nother thing. So it includes it on our calculator so we know what it is, so we can market the deal properly. But we don't tell people what the estimated closing costs are because every title company is a little different. So we put the entry fee, which is the down payment, the assignment fee, and the realtor commission if it's in there. And then we put plus closing costs. That's how we market the deal to our investors.
Got you.
But we want you guys to be able to determine what your total entry fee percentage is, because just because we don't tell them what the closing cost is, and I mean the investors, doesn't mean they can't calculate and estimate just like we are. So you got to keep that in mind.
Got you. And then with JVing the deal with you, it's 60-40. So do you guys, depending on,
hold on. We changed it. You guys get 5%, we get 95%. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's 60-40. You get 60, we get 40. You're like, wait a minute, what?
I was like, damn, y'all hiring me? 1099?
No. Yeah, it's so for anyone who does not know, if you want to JV with us, it's a 60-40 split for us to find a buyer for your deal. You get 60%. My disposition team keeps 40% for them for moving your deal. That's how it works.
So, and then you said that you do a minimum, or like you try and get like a minimum of 10K per deal. So
yeah, we always shoot so we overshoot, obviously, negotiating 101, we shoot it out much higher than what we actually want. And then we typically tend to negotiate right around $9,000 to $10,000 an assignment per creative deal. Cash, the range is a little bit different because it's a cash deal, so it depends.
Oh, so you guys also do cash deals as well?
Oh yeah, dude, we'll move anything.
Okay.
Commercial buildings, apartment units. We can move complexes. Doesn't matter. We got this on lock. My disposition team is the shit.
W Mans. Yeah, that's all my questions. I'm like, thank you so much for answering them.
No problem. I don't remember who was. Oh, it was Lee. After Lee, it's like I don't remember who was next. So you guys Mortal Kombat for it. Lee, what's up?
Hey, I was wondering, do I put a 10-year balloon on the offer?
The balloon depends on your purchase price. So if you heard the conversation that me and what was it, Derek just had, it's a if it's a less than $100,000 purchase price, you can put a 3 to 5 year balloon. If it's more than $100,000 purchase price, up to 350,000, you need to put a 7 to 10 year balloon. And if it's more than that, you need to put a 12 to 15 year balloon.
Okay, so mine is 154, so I can just put 10 years, right?
You can do put a range, put 5 to 10 years.
So 5-10.
Yep, years.
Okay, and also on the term length, is it 24 years or 25?
Well, it depends. Every deal term is going to be different because the term is dictated by the monthly payment.
Okay, so right now I have 23 years and 10 months. Do I just put 24?
You can leave it 23 years and 10 months. That's fine.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't sure if you want me to clean it up. So
Oh, cleaning up the terms. Did I say clean up your numbers? Good. Yeah, good on you. But no. When it comes to the term, you can leave that. The term, once they see that there's a balloon, nobody gives a damn what the term is. The term could be 1,000 years. It doesn't matter. They're getting paid off in 5 to 10.
okay.
So yeah, the term, good on you for seeing if you should clean that up and round it. But I mean, and you can absolutely round it, especially if you're adding a balloon because the months doesn't really matter. There's a balloon. So yeah, I mean, short answer, if you want to clean it up, you can. If you don't want that extra step, you want to just leave what deal sniper puts, you can.
So where would I put the balloon? Just anywhere.
You would put it right after the term.
So term then balloon.
Yeah, so it would be term and then whatever that number is, and then you type in balloon and then whatever number you should put based off your purchase price. You put that range there.
So did you say balloon? Balloon then
Yeah.
dash.
No. It's balloon, then your range. So the range would be, in your case, 5 to 10. So 5-10.
Years.
Yep.
Okay. So I have down payment 11,000, monthly payment 500. Term length is 23 years and 10 months. Then balloon 5 to 10 years.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. I'm about to send this offer out.
Nice job.
Thank you, Sean.
No problem. All right. Did you guys decide who's next? Me personally, I would do ladies first, but that's just me.
Angelica, can you go for us?
My name's Larry. I'm a woman.
Who's Angelica? No, it's Amber. Oh,
It's
that's
me,
Angelica.
Sean.
Oh, okay. Sorry, wrong name. All right, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, so we just recently had an interested seller here. So we need some help with the underwriting.
Oh, now
I'm
wait a
going to
minute. You
send.
guys are doing something a little different. So is this deal off market or on market?
This is on market listed.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to send it on the group chat here.
Oh, I don't need the address. I just need the numbers.
Okay, so the purchase price is 566,500.
Is this a seller financing deal?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm also trying to do the sub two or the subject to because they have a mortgage in it.
Okay, so then this would be a hybrid deal.
Hybrid. Okay.
Okay, so what is the total purchase price, including everything? Like, what is the number that the deal sniper generated as a purchase price?
Okay, so the initial offer that we sent, having or didn't know that they have a mortgage, the purchase price is 566,500,
Okay.
and the seller finance amount is 526,500.
What is the mortgage balance?
The mortgage balance is 426,000.
And what is the monthly payment?
It's ranging around 35,000.
No, no. Um, hold on.
Are we holding for a while? Because I can go to another question and come back to you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Are you sure you had the monthly payments right, Angelica?
Yes, that's based on what I saw in his documents.
That seems really high for a monthly payment for a mortgage. Is it $1 million property? Even then,
No.
yeah, that would have to be like a $14 million property. No, not even that. $24
That's
million.
way too high.
Yeah, that's really high. You want to double check that before we run numbers the wrong way? Because I can tell you right now, if the PITI, if the monthly payment is 35,000, it's not a deal.
Okay, hold on. You can proceed first, and I'm going to double check. Okay.
Okay. Amber, what's up?
Perfect. Okay, so I have this is seller finance. with
Not a hybrid,
underwriting.
really?
No, I listen. Oh my God, I'm so happy about it. It's been a great day.
All right. What's up? What's the numbers?
Purchase price is 347.
Okay.
Call it out to me. I'm sorry.
Seller finance amount?
323.
Okay. Down payment?
Down payment is 24.
Okay. We want to make 10. What's the LT, the rent?
Beautiful. 2,500.
Okay. Realtor commission?
Possible, but we haven't discussed
Okay.
specifics.
All right. What are the taxes and the insurance?
Taxes is 1,529. Insurance is 1,323.
Okay. And what are we giving them monthly?
1,100.
Well, now that's a hell of a deal.
Okay, so my question is, if I need to do realtor commissions, what would be the best number as far as the percentage goes?
Well, it's a $350,000 purchase price, right? 347. So,
Yes,
I mean, technically at 3%,
about
that's like
3,500.
no,
Oh,
that's 10 grand. That's
well,
like
I want to do
10,000.
the full. I said up to 3% now. Hold on now.
Well, but here's why I'm putting in the max. And this
Okay.
is important for everyone. You want to know what it looks like worst case scenario, because she may not move on her commission. She may be like, "Hey, I want my commission or buy." So
Mhm.
we need to see what that looks like.
Okay.
Honestly, it doesn't look that bad at all. You're still under 15%, and it's an 18% cash on cash return.
That's amazing, isn't it? Okay. And then what about you and
I
the
would
team?
still negotiate it. I would still say, "Hey, look, can we do this for?" Because it doesn't matter how much lower you get it,
Mhm.
just lower is better.
Okay.
How long has the property been listed for?
It has been listed for 107 days.
You know what? Have you guys ever wished you can put your brain in other people's bodies for just a little bit,
Yeah, I
just
would
to
love to borrow
accomplish
yours.
something? Because okay, so here's how you guys need to look at this. And I was talking to someone earlier today, trying to figure out how to convey to you guys why people keep telling me that why I've been successful. I try to like not sound conceited, but why I've been so successful. And the reason why, and I touched on it a little bit earlier, it's not necessarily what I say, but it's how I'm saying it.
Mhm.
I don't, even when I speak to a lot of realtors, and I am not trying to show off, this is not, I'm not talking shit, but I rarely get asked for a proof of funds. I mean, I think the last time I got asked for proof of funds was like 9 months ago. So, and it's not because I'm saying anything different than you guys. I'm willing to bet that anyone that's watching my videos and starting to mimic the way that I talk is using the same words that I'm using. I just sound like two things. I don't give a damn what you say. And I don't mean that in a I'm going to do it anyway. I mean like, oh, all right, well, no big deal. Cool. I'll talk to you later. Like, I don't care. And then two, because I sound like I don't care, which I don't, I'm coming off super confident. Like, this is business as usual. If you're not on board, then get out of the way before you get run over. Like, this is just how we do it. If you're not doing it this way, you're the weirdo, not me. So if it were me and I noticed that this property was listed for 107 days, I would call the realtor. And I know that you're new, so the confidence level may not be there. But I would call the realtor and say, look, I'm pretty sure I can get this thing moved. I've committed to taking off some money, what I'm charging my buyer, because I'm trying to keep the entry fee percentage attractive so I can get this thing moved quick. It's been listed for 107 days. If I need to negotiate a price drop, are you okay with me pulling $2,500 or so from your commission?
Okay. That's easy.
That's a
Yeah,
real
that's easy.
conversation you can, and you're not saying that you're going to do it. What you're saying is, push come to shove, I've already given up a chunk of what I'm going to charge my buyer. Can you give up a little bit of what you're trying to charge? That's it. That's all you're asking for. That's very fair. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like greedy. I actually hate it. I hate it a lot, like a whole lot. Like, I'll hate it with my car. So if a real estate agent is being like, no, I want my $10,500, then the other Sean comes out. You've had this property listed for 107 days and you have the audacity to demand $10,500 from this deal, and I'm the one bringing the buyer. Are you out of your mind? And yes, I've said that to realtors before. I've said that to sellers before, for sale by owners. And that's where the aspect of I don't care about this deal comes from. I have the gall to say that, because if I make you mad and you don't want the deal, that's okay. It's been on market for 107 days. It's not going to be on market much longer. I'll skip trace it once it's off market. I'll go behind your back and I'll just talk to the seller directly. And I'll get the deal anyway, because the only thing holding this deal up is you and you being greedy. So that's almost the mentality you kind of have to have. But yeah, I mean, this deal, that was a rant. Anyway, this deal still works paying their full commission, but I would try and get it to about $7,500 to $8,000 if you can.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't spoken about an actual number. She did let me know that the seller she was there previously as a homestead buyer, which I was happy to hear.
Good.
And then she mentioned the possibility of her being interested, especially based on the down payment. Well, I'm sorry, the monthly payment. And then I said, well, hey, if we can go ahead and move this one, I would be willing to, maybe cover up your realtor commission up to 3%. And she was like, wow, why would you do that? And I was just like, I'd rather lock in and become friends now so that I can help you, help me, and we can continue to move forward for other listings. And she was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll let you know. So I'm excited. I'm really good at spitting out BS as it comes. It just flows naturally. So I understand what you mean.
It's not BS. I mean, you
Yeah,
didn't say anything
it's
just
facts.
now that wasn't factually accurate.
Yeah, it is facts. But what I mean is, it just flows. I don't know where it comes from in conversation. It just comes out. So it's kind of like I kind of know it, but I'm not. I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like I know more in that moment.
When's
So
your
I'm
birthday
proud
again?
of the guy. May 26th.
Oh, you're not a fire sign. Yeah, that's weird. May 26th. What is that, a Taurus?
Gemini.
Oh, yeah, you're psychotic. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
All right. There's a couple
That's
of me
what it
like
is.
you have.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is. All right, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, your deal absolutely works. That's that's a fire deal. Even paying the commission. Yeah, it's still a really
Nice,
good deal.
Elena.
I would get that. I'd get that real quick.
Perfect. Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome. All right. Did you find the information that you needed for that hybrid?
Yeah. So okay. So upon confirming, the monthly payment is 3,558.
3,550. Okay. Hold on. Don't tell me. Let me see if I can remember. 566. No, that's not it. It was 426,000. The total purchase price was 566,500. What's the interest rate for the current mortgage?
3%.
3%. Okay. And what are we giving them as a down payment?
Down payment is 40.
$40,000.
Yes.
Okay. So then that would make this 100,500, I believe. And then what will the place rent for?
Hold on. I believe it's 1.3.
1,300 or 13,000?
1,300.
Okay. So we can finish underwriting the deal, but I can tell you right now the deal's not going to work. And the reason why the deal's not going to work is because it doesn't cash flow. It actually is going to have quite a bit of negative cash flow. And what I mean by that is that the monthly mortgage payment is $3,500. That's how much it costs monthly on a, at the least to have this property, but it's only going to bring in $1,300 a month in rent, unless this property also works as a short-term rental. And the short-term rental monthly is significantly higher than 3,500, because if I go to hybrid, even without putting in a seller finance number, if I put in 3,558 at 3%, I mean, yeah, we're at a negative $29,000 a year. Yeah. And that's not including the monthly payment to the seller finance. Even if we gave them $100 a month. I mean, this deal doesn't work. Again, unless it works as a short-term rental. If you've run those numbers, then I can input them and see what it'd be. But I can tell you right now that it would have to be, is it 65? No, that's a little too, well, max. Yeah, it's all maxed out. So what about 55? Okay, so 55 is a little too low. How about 6? Yeah, it would have to rent for about $5,800 a month as a short-term rental in order to work. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe $5,700 a month. So when you run those numbers, if you come to find out that this thing will make $66,000 a year, then this is 100% a good deal. Well, not necessarily, because that's only giving the seller $100 a month. So a more realistic payment would be, I mean, I've seen people do $165 a month, just kill it. So it'd be about $300 a month. So if this deal will generate either $5,700 a month or around $65,000 a year, then it'll work, giving the seller $300 a month on top of paying that $3,500 mortgage.
Okay, got it. And also, by the way, I also wanted to ask because we on the deal sniper we have an option of if the property have mortgage, and the first thing that we are always gonna do is assume that there are no mortgage, right?
Correct.
But if we had like an information, or we know that they have the mortgage, can we also use that calculator there?
I wouldn't. No, and the only reason why I wouldn't is because, one, you're gonna have to do it twice anyway. Because just because they have a mortgage doesn't mean it's going to be a subject to, and Deal Sniper can only underwrite subject to. So you're better off just underwriting the entire thing if you find out it has a mortgage with the Deal Machine calculator, because it can underwrite both, and the numbers just carry over.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Sean.
You are very welcome. Okay, who's next? I don't know who's next.
Still, Larry. Can you
What's
hear
up,
me?
Larry?
Quick
Yep.
question. So I got a seller finance deal. However, on Deal Sniper, it has the incorrect price. That's on
Really?
Zillow. Yeah.
Is the property on market?
No.
Oh, that's why. Okay. So yeah, when you're running a property using Deal Sniper and it's off market, it's just going to go off this estimate.
It's just going to go off
And
what?
then it'll generate all. It's going to go off this estimate and then run all its numbers off.
Well, yeah,
of that.
even his estimate's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like I looked at Zillow, it has it on the wrong spot. It looks like it had what it was sold for, and the value is like reversed. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, you should. Do you
So
know
I'm kind of
Calvin
guessing, but I'm pretty close to closing it out. But I just don't know how high I can go. You know what I mean?
on this one property?
Yeah. Because there's a like a
Well,
20.
finish telling me the situation.
All right. So basically, how much does it show? Let me pull up on Zillow because it's like a $40,000 difference between what's coming up on Deal Sniper.
Okay, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Are you? Let me pull something up first.
I could
before
DM you
before
the.
finish. No, that's not even necessary. I just want to show you something, and I want to follow along with you. And I don't want to put your address on here because it's one of your leads, and it's going to go on YouTube.
Well, I'll
I don't want
DM
anybody
you
sneaking
myself. I don't trust these people either.
You should hear. I can't repeat it now because this is going on YouTube. But no one on my team is in the call right now. But if they were, if I told this story, there'd be a bunch of laughing emojis pop up. But the spiel that I used to give people in my other Discord when they would join, and I used to give the addresses just freely because I had one very deliberate and permanent threat against anyone who snaked anyone in the Discord community. But I can't say that anymore. Okay, so are you talking about here it's not showing the right number, or down here it's not showing the right number?
Well,
Which one?
definitely on the bottom. It's definitely not. I didn't see what it showed. Like you see, scroll up a little because I think I'm saying. See where it says up top says 359. I can't read what yours is showing. Yeah, right. I can't read what you're showing on the right. There's a number over there.
This says 350. This says 354,500.
Yeah, so mine is what I'm doing here is it's
this
showing.
one is listed for 350.
Yeah, mine's showing 166 off market, and then the offer to give me is 137. So I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I know Deal Sniper isn't super adapt to, like, it's built for on-market properties. That's why we built it. And then sometimes you can kind of tweak it a little bit on how you put stuff in for off-market. Is there a reason why you're going off-market versus on-market? Just out of curiosity.
It was a lead I got from another source, and she wants to do seller financing.
Well, I mean, regardless of what this one says or what this or any of this shit up here says, this down here is completely customizable. So if the number, for example, if this one was listed for 380, I don't know, and Deal Sniper's showing me 360, well, that's okay. I mean, I'll just change this to 380, and then it'll finish all the other rest of
the the only issue I have is I don't know how much. I mean, I fiddle around with the numbers, but I don't know how high up I can go to make it work. Basically.
Do you want to look at the deal right now? I mean, if you don't have to give me the address, I just need the numbers, and I can underwrite it right now.
Yeah, I just did. Yeah, I can do it. All right, so
all right.
Now
what's the asking price?
185. I mean, I'm still negotiating, but I left it off that way. We're going to talk again tomorrow.
Okay. All right. How much were you thinking as a down payment?
I was trying to give her 10%, so 18.5.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we've got what, 1,665,100. And then what other place rent for?
She got it at 18, but you can go to, it says 21. Should go to 21.
Okay. Is there a realtor on this one that you're paying?
Nope.
And what are the taxes on the insurance?
The taxes are 1,052. Insurance is 5.25.
Okay. And then
There
what
is
does
an
Deal Sniper say
HOA.
you should give them?
There is an HOA of 525. Excuse me, $3,012.
All right. And what is Deal Sniper saying you should give them monthly?
Deal Sniper told me I can give them 924. Well, you see what? You see, I don't know because it has a purchase price of 137. Oh wait, they have
That's all right.
the really low. They have the really low purchase price.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's okay because that's why. Now, I know that there are a lot of calculators out there, but this one is really tailored for what we're doing specifically here. So it doesn't matter because this will
Okay.
tell you just based off the numbers that we put in if this is a good deal or not. And you're at an 18% cash on cash return. Your entry fee percentage is a little bit high. Why is that? Oh, because you gave max 10%. Here's what I think would work a little bit better. Were they originally asking 185 or 184.9 or whatever?
No, they were asking 190. They were
Okay.
asking 190.
I would do 200 and that's not enough. Yeah, it is. I do 210,000. I would do 195 as the seller financed amount. I do $15,000 down. And let's see if that helps. Yeah, that helped quite a bit. So now your cash on cash return is 21 or 20 and a half, and your entry fee is 13.36. And that's $900 a month. So here's how to answer your original question, how do I figure out how much I can go? The rule is, and this is again, if you guys want to use our buyers, if you want to go try and sell the deal on your own, you don't have to follow my rules. Just know that if the rules on the deal that you submit me don't fit, I'm gonna kick it right back to you like, hey man, we can't move this. But in order to figure out how high you can go on a monthly payment, you just need to make sure that your cash on cash returns, and just so we're on the same page, it's pretty universally understood that 10 to 12% cash on cash return is a bare minimum when you're wholesaling creative deals. So you want to keep this number at a minimum of 10%. So all you do is take the monthly payment and just start incrementally going up until it hits 10% on the cash on cash return. So there's 1,000, there's 1,100, and you can make bigger jumps than I'm making, but okay, so that's too much. 1,200 is too much. So let's do 1,150. There you go. It's about 1,150. That's the most you can give them under these terms. $210,000 purchase price, $15,000 down.
And at that rate, maybe 7 to 10 year.
Yeah, you can absolutely do a 7 to 10 year balloon on this one.
And you're saying give them $1,150 a month?
No, you originally asked me how do I know what's the most
okay,
I can give them. I just tried to figure it out. If you wanted to keep it at what Deal Sniper suggested, about $900, yeah, that deal's fantastic. Because the lower you give them on the monthly payment, the higher the cash on cash return goes, the more attractive your deal is. As a good wholesaler doing creative, you got to be able to walk the line between getting the seller what they need and still keeping the deal attractive so the buyer will want to buy it from you.
Yeah, I think she'd definitely take 210, but she'd take 210. I might just.
I mean, this is the worst case scenario. I mean, you can go 200. You can go back.
Well,
up
she's
to the
thinking about 185.
Hey,
she might want a bigger down payment, and that might kill the numbers a little.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Your entry fee percentage, and I say this with a little bit of trepidation because I know there's some people who's going to hear this and run with it. So I'm gonna give you this disclaimer first. The higher you are above 15% from your entry fee percentage, the uglier your deal is. That's no different than having a super low cash on cash return as far as an investor is concerned. Most of them, not all of them, but enough of a chunk for me to point it out. So when you're doing your entry fee percentage, I mean, you can go up just keep that in mind. But no matter what, don't go any higher than 20%.
So I could offer 195 and kick my assignment fee up.
Oh yeah, absolutely you can.
And one
And
more,
that is
yeah,
how you
that's
work the
good.
numbers, sir.
What's that?
I said that is how you work the numbers, sir.
Yeah, I mean, if I go to you, it'll be more money for you and your team, right?
Yeah, as long as you guys get paid, that's all I care about. My team makes money because my team's fantastic.
Oh, so it's a freebie.
So
No.
they're gonna make money no matter what. But yeah, I mean, any deal you guys want to kick to us, as long as it fits, we'll move it.
One more quick question. I don't want to keep you hanging.
No, it's okay.
Now I'm dealing with a couple of real estate agents right now, and they want their contract. So
Okay.
here's my confusion. I have our contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get that signed with, well, if I'm dealing with the agent, I guess I send her our contract to sign or have her send it to their, I'm just sort of getting confused. Who do I send the contract to?
Well, that depends. So what I first heard you say was that the real estate agent wants you to use their contract. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and yeah, I'm in Jersey, so they want their freaking contract.
Which is fine. And for anyone else that's listening, if a real estate agent wants to use their contract or the state approved contract or whatever contract they're comfortable with, that's absolutely okay. Here's what I recommend. I recommend filling out our contract anyway and emailing it to the realtor as a PDF and say, hey, I have no problem with you using your contract. Here's my contract with everything in writing so that you can just transfer it over to your contract before you send it out. And that's usually the end of the conversation. If you're still concerned, and here's what I would just get in the habit of doing, just because this version of me doesn't trust anyone, start looking over these contracts, and you're only looking for a few things that would make it a no-go, meaning don't sign it. The first one, and the most important one, is that the contract is not assignable. So there's two ways this can play out. It either won't be mentioned in the contract at all, in which case, for the most part, you're good, or it'll explicitly say no assignments or no assignment of contract. If that is in the real estate agent's contract, you need to ask them to remove it. And they shouldn't have a problem removing it if you've already explained to them that you're a real estate or that you're a wholesaler, like I tell you to. Be honest with them. You guys should be on the same page, same team. So you need to make sure and watch out for that. The next thing is in regards to the EMD. Now, the EMD amount doesn't really matter that much because as a wholesaler, you're not putting that down. The buyer's going to put it down. But ideally, you don't really want to have it go over like $3,000. I mean, anything over $3,000, that's a little excessive. Unless it's like $1 million property, then okay. But if it's like $350,000 or less, $3,000 is plenty as an EMD. So you want to make sure that the EMD isn't too much. And then you want to make sure that the EMD is due on or before the end of the inspection period. I'm going to say that one more time. The earnest money deposit, or EMD, is due on or before the end of the inspection period. And your inspection period should be ideally 14 business days. Sometimes real estate agents, not on purpose, or at least not always on purpose, they'll put in calendar days because that just means 14 days in a row. Business days, 14 business days equals about 3 weeks to find a buyer, which is what you want. 14 calendar days is just 14 days. That's only 2 weeks. So to recap, yes, you guys can absolutely have the real estate agent use their contract. If they want to use their state contract, whatever. Oh, this is the contract I'm familiar with. That's fine. What I recommend, send them your filled out contract signed. Just sign it, download it to your computer, attach it as a PDF to an email, and send it to the realtor and say, hey, here's my contract for my terms. So in case you want to copy it over word for word, here you go. That way there can be no confusion or discrepancies between what they send you and what you spoke about. Does that make sense?
Yep, to me, so everything, but just to make sure, everything's in my name, my entity, and then we just we assign it at the closing.
Correct. Which is why you need it to say in the contract that it needs to be assignable. And here's the other thing. If in the event that the contract that the realtor sends doesn't mention assigning the contract at all, like I said, you're probably okay. But if you're following the program and being upfront with the realtor and telling them that you're a wholesaler, what you're planning on doing, then you can absolutely ask them to add that to the contract just so there's no issues. There's no
Right.
discrepancies, no misconceptions. That's another thing that I would recommend. But yeah, other than that, you're good.
Beautiful, man. Appreciate it.
No worries. Okay. I'm just gonna go top to bottom. Sorry, honey. I don't know how to pronounce that first word. Smitty, what's up?
Yeah, how you doing? I wanted to ask about a property. I think it's a sub two. I
Hold
was
on.
trying to see how.
What are we doing? Are we underwriting the deal?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to see if that's possible. It is a little high. It's in Long Island, New York.
But is it a sub two or a hybrid?
I believe it's a sub two. I don't. Yeah, I believe it's a sub two.
All right, let me ask you this. And for everyone who's new, this is how you can quickly figure out if it's a subject to or a hybrid. How much were they originally listing the property for?
Originally, it was 730.
Okay, and how much is the mortgage balance?
I'm not too sure on that one.
Well, we can't underwrite the deal if you don't have the mortgage balance or the mortgage info.
Then I'm definitely gonna have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I need the mortgage balance, the interest rate, and the monthly principal, interest, taxes, insurance payment, which is just the monthly mortgage payment.
All right, thank you.
No worries. You get that to me and I'm still on here. I'll underwrite it. If not, then just DM it to me.
All right, thank you.
No worries. Okay, DJ.
Yeah, I have a deal seller finance. I'll talk to you more about it tomorrow, but I did the cash on cash return and it's 52%. And I'm pretty sure I did everything right, but I'm
You want to take a
still,
look
yeah, I'll take a quick look at it. So I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat. So seller finance, 277, then 258 finance amount, and then 19,500 down payment, and then 10,000 wholesale fee, desired
the rent?
wholesale fee, and it's 2,300.
What are the taxes and insurance?
The taxes is sorry, give me 1 second. Taxes is 3,500, and then insurance is 1,000.
Is there an HOA?
600.
Okay, and what are we giving them monthly?
970.
I got a 19% cash on cash return.
What the fuck? What did I do? Oh, mine looks so different. Yeah, I plugged everything in like you. Why is mine different?
Let's look at the inputs page. 277. I can tell your purchase price is off a little bit because you're missing $500 somewhere. But that wouldn't affect the cash on cash return from 52 to 19. The only way you'd be able to get a 52% cash on cash return, well, hell, I don't think you can. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's 15.
Wait, what's it called? Go to Honey real quick, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. I guess we're all calling you Honey now. What can I do for you?
It's Shakol. How y'all doing?
Shakol?
Yes.
What's up? What can I do for you?
Hey, so I got an email from a realtor, and I think it's in the positive. She said, sorry, just had this up. Okay, so she said that the seller wants a full out sale, so wanting to leave the property. I'm assuming that's a good thing. And so she's asking what the final offer is. So I just wanted to run the numbers with you in underwriting just to make sure that it's correct.
Okay, let's do it. What is the purchase price?
The purchase price is $330,000.
Okay. What is the seller finance amount?
The seller finance amount is $307,000.
Okay. We're at $23,000 down payment.
Yes.
Okay. And then what will it rent for?
It'll rent for $2,400.
Okay. And then are we doing realtor commissions?
She hasn't reached out to me about that yet. So I
Okay.
wanted to talk to you about a possibility because I do want to call her tomorrow. I think this might be a good deal. So I just want to have something to say to her.
All right. So then we'll underwrite it without, and then we'll add it and we'll see how that changes the numbers, and then we'll work it from there.
Okay.
What are the taxes and the insurance?
The taxes, 37.28 and 81 cents. Should we change the 81 cents or keep it?
I mean, I'm for the purposes of underwriting the deal, 81 cents doesn't really mean anything.
Okay.
So I just leave it out.
Insurance, 1260.
Okay. And then is there an HOA?
1215.
Okay. And then what are we doing monthly?
Monthly payment at 800.
Okay. This deal's fantastic.
Okay.
You got a 21.8% cash on cash return. Your entry fee percentage is 11.71. That's great. Now let's see now obviously it's going to change. Don't freak out. It's going to change because I'm going to show you what the max would be if we added the entire realtor commission, which would be what, $9,600. So your entry fee percentage went up quite a bit, but it's still under 15%. So you're okay. And your cash on cash return is 17.5. So yeah, this is still a great deal, even if you pay the whole thing. But just like the other deal that we looked at earlier, I would see if you can negotiate this down to maybe $7,000. Maybe
Okay.
even $5,000, but even $7,000 would be much better.
Okay.
But yeah, even at max price at the full 9,600, I mean, technically the deal works. And just so everyone's on the same page, why this is such a big deal, that's because here's what we're asking. Remember, this page is for the sellers. This page and all these tabs is what it looks like for the buyer. So when you put your buyer's hat on, put yourself in their shoes so that you can see the deal from their eyes. What essentially we're asking them to do is purchase this property for a total of $340,000, but to bring in $50,000 to the closing table in order to get this deal that will make them $8,600 a year to start. Obviously, rent goes up every year, so that'll incrementally go up as rent goes up, but $86,000 or $8,600 a year. So that's what we're asking them to do. So when we remove this, now that we see it from that angle, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are loaded, but I would much rather spend 40 grand than 50 grand anytime I can. So in order to make the deal more attractive, we need to that's why we want to keep the entry fee percentage low, unless this is like a banger, which this one actually 21% is nothing to rub your nose at. That's a phenomenal deal. Again, even with the realtor commission in there, but that's why you guys need to have the, I don't want to say that word. That's a bad word. You guys need to have the confidence. There we go. The confidence to go to the realtor and say, look, I think I can get this deal to move, but in the event that I need to come down and shave something off this deal in order to move it, I've already given a portion of my commission from what I'm selling it to my investors for. Are you willing to come down to $7,000 in order to get the deal closed? If we need it, I'd like to have it. If I don't need it, then you get your 9,600. There's nothing wrong with having that conversation with the realtor, especially for a property that's been on market well over 60 days. They're trying to get the deal sold just like you're trying to get the deal sold.
Sean, would you mind back to the seller finance tab real quick? Okay, awesome. Thank you. I just want to take a snapshot. And this is going to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay,
this will be uploaded tomorrow morning.
My last question is, so for the turnaround time with talking to agents, is 24 to 48 hours a bad turnaround time? Like what's too long?
Turnaround for what?
to respond to emails.
Meaning they emailed you back and then now you need to respond to them?
Yes, and I'm asking because I'm a full-time teacher, so we go back after spring break this week. So I'm
yeah.
concerned, like I can respond quickly this week, but next week I'll be a little more occupied.
Well, thank you for teaching. Most teachers don't get enough thank you for that. I was awesome to my teachers, just so we're on the same page. Yeah, 24 to 48 hours, absolutely fine.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, now obviously it's always going to be speed to deal, but these properties have been listed for 60 plus days. The chances that another 24 to 48 hour kills the deal for you is highly unlikely.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Malia and then Kimberly. And then after Kimberly, I'll try and keep count. Malia, what's up?
Amisha let my hand down. I don't even think my deal is gonna work. I just ran the numbers and it's like negative 45%.
Do you think you ran the numbers correctly? I mean, I'm not doubting your ability, but I mean, it's your turn, so you want to run them.
I probably did not. But my original question was, I'm not even sure if the realtor understands what she's asking me. Because she doesn't understand creative financing. And then I asked her for the mortgage information. She said a roundabout number of 178. And she was basically saying that she would ask permission to get that for me. And so I plugged them in as best as I know how, which I think I did it correctly. But
wait a minute, did the real estate agent give you the mortgage balance, the interest rate, and the monthly payment?
Yeah, no, she did not give me the. I think she said 3.75, but I'm not sure. But the monthly payment was 2,100, and the balance was 178.
Okay. And what was the original asking price? How much did they have it listed for originally?
Hold on, let me go to that listing. $327,360.
Okay, so it's definitely going to be a hybrid deal, not a subject to. And the way that I can tell that for anyone who doesn't understand or hasn't seen that video yet, the most that we can give a seller across the board for a down payment, max is 10% of whatever the purchase price is. So if it ends up being a subject to, whatever their loan amount is becomes the purchase price. So if you look at something, you're like, okay, they have a $100,000 mortgage and they're asking $120,000 for their house. That's close enough. It's within the 10% where I can probably do a subject to. But if they're asking $300,000 for their house and they have a $100,000 mortgage, well, the difference between the $100,000 mortgage and the purchase price is way more than 10% of the total purchase price. Total purchase price is only 30 grand. The difference between the two is 200,000. So when it's that big of a gap, that's when it becomes a hybrid. That means that we're going to subject to the mortgage and then pay them monthly seller financing on their equity so they can get that total purchase price, just in case anyone wasn't knowing or following along. Okay, go ahead, finish.
What other information did you need?
You have the total asking price. You have, okay, so how much money did they offer on Deal Sniper? How much, what was the offer?
352.
Okay. All right, so 352,000, and you said the mortgage balance was how much?
178.
Okay. And what is the monthly mortgage payment?
2,100.
Okay. You said the interest rate was about 3.7 ish, right?
Yeah. She gave me roundabout numbers because she was focused on asking me why aren't we doing the traditional way.
Well, I mean, I'm going to remind me to get to that after we underwrite this deal. I'll give you guys a little bit of insight with realtors. How much did Deal Sniper give them as a down payment?
26.
26,000?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then 26,000. What will it rent for?
25.
Okay. Hybrid. $2,100. Yep, 2,100. Okay, so the deal absolutely doesn't cash flow, but yeah, if the deal you have negative $3,000 a year, your entry fee percentage is good, but the cash flow doesn't work. And just so everyone's on the same page, that's kind of the issue with hybrids. Hybrids, again, putting yourself in the buyer's shoes, what are we asking the buyer to do? We're asking the buyer to pay $2,100 a month for a mortgage, and then also pay $300 a month to the seller to start chipping away at the equity. So when you combine those, they're paying 25,200 plus 3,600 on top of all of that. Well, just these two is $28,800, and it's only bringing in $30,000 a year, but $28,000 is going to monthly payments. So that's why it's hard to move hybrids, because we're paying both. Even if, now granted with this one, even if we'd had, it still wouldn't work, but that's a little more rare for a subject to than a hybrid deal. But yeah, unfortunately, this deal doesn't work. But yeah, you're negative 45% cash on cash return. There must have been something input wrong somewhere, because I'm only getting. Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. What was the monthly payment that Deal Sniper said to give to the seller?
Hold on.
Because actually, you might have been right. I don't want you to think you did it wrong.
892.
How much?
892.
So about $900.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at a negative 24% cash on cash return. It's just, unfortunately, this deal's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't know what I put in wrong, because I got a negative 20%. But either way it go, it's super negative.
Yeah, it's
So
unfortunately it's pretty negative. It's not going to work.
that wasn't my biggest concern. My biggest concern was like, with this being something completely new to me. And no, the realtor actually called me, and this is in Florida. I noticed a lot of those realtors actually call. Is Florida properties like super easy to move? Are they having a hard time selling them or something? Because I was on a call with her and got another call from Florida while we were talking. But how would I respond to this when she's asking like, why am I not doing traditional financing?
Well, that can be led back to a simple question. Do they know that you're a wholesaler or not? Because if they don't know that you're a wholesaler, that's going to have a big discrepancy. Because again, putting yourself in other people's shoes, for one, and just to touch back on the thing that I told you to remind me of, real estate agents aren't really taught creative financing. Like, they're taught kind of the different pieces of it separately, but they're not, from what I understand, they're not really taught that as a concept together, subject to hybrids, things like that. They're taught the individual pieces separately. So a lot of times when real estate agents are defensive to your offers, and this is for all of you guys, they just don't understand it. Think about it. What if someone walked up to you and started speaking to you a different language? First thing you're going to feel is anxious. Oh my God, what do they want? I don't understand. And then you're going to get defensive because you don't know what they're saying. Realtors are doing the exact same thing. That's normal. Now, they don't have to be as nasty as some of them are with their responses, but hey, that's okay. People are nasty. Sometimes people suck. So, yeah, you have to keep it in your mind. They don't get it, so you need to understand it. And the way to get them to understand is to first have them understand what you're doing. And what you're doing is wholesaling this deal to your investors that are looking for cash flowing properties. That's the first thing. The second thing is, so why am I offering this offer instead of going traditional? Well, it's very simple. My investors have cash to do this down payment. My investors have tenants ready to move in, property managers set up, contractors ready to go. But in order for them to move all those things and get this deal, it has to be able to cash flow. It has to be worth it. If it's not worth it, they have no incentive to buy it. So my investors need to keep the cash flow as high as possible and the entry fee as low as possible. But at the same time, I want to make sure your seller gets taken care of. The property's been listed for X amount of days, which I'm sure you wish that it would have sold a lot sooner, but it hasn't. So here we are. Here's what I'm offering. I'm offering more money than what you're asking. That's a two-parter. One, I'm trying to entice your seller to take the deal. Two, I have your deal at 0% interest. So we calculated what the interest money-wise would have been for the balloon period that I'm going to offer you. We figured out what that was, and then we just added it to the purchase price because my investors, they don't care what the purchase price is. Not really. The only thing they care about is the entry fee and the cash on cash return, how much they can cash flow. That's it. So if we can make something work similar to this deal, I've got a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot. But if we can make something work, I know for a fact one of my investors will take this down. I just need to identify them. Once I identify which one is going to take it down, we'll submit EMD, we'll submit proof of funds, we'll get the thing closed, everybody gets paid. And if you need us to build your commission into the deal, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, we can do that too. You just got to let me know how much you're charging. When you say that to a realtor, all of that, for the most part, most realtors will understand that. Oh, okay, so you have an investor. He wants to cash flow the property. You took the amount of money that you would have gotten or that my seller would have gotten monthly. You just added that up and added to the purchase price. Okay, that makes sense. It says 0% interest because your investor wants the cash flow, so it makes sense for them to buy it. Okay, that makes sense too. The next question will probably be something like, okay, well, how long is the term? What's the balloon? And if they start asking questions like that, they're interested. That's a good thing. So that's kind of how you explain it to them. You just got to let them know what you're doing, which will lead into why you're doing it this way. And if you can get all of that out with a realtor, you should be able to have a pretty high conversion rate if they're open to working with a wholesaler, or if the seller is okay with seller financing, you just need to iron out the terms. Does that make sense? Malia, you're muted if you're talking.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, good. All right. Kimberly, weren't you next? I didn't see where you go. I can't see the screen. But if you're here, go ahead and start talking. Unless you're muted.
I didn't mean to put my hand up. I'm here for the training.
Oh, no worries.
Okay.
Okay, who else has got a question? Justin, what's up?
Hey, this is Jay Novation here. Quick question, Sean.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, man? Quick question. Can you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a spreadsheet and share it to everybody in the class. As far as the balloon payments, 'cause I think there's a lot of confusion in regards to that. Can you text me as far as like the purchase price and then like the year it's supposed to be in, so I can just pass it down to them?
Yeah, actually, for those of you guys that maybe didn't see it, and if you didn't see it, that's because you didn't go through the navigation video that I sent you all. There's a spreadsheet that's got this and a whole bunch of other information in it in the Discord already. It's got the balloon information. It's got which markets to go to. It's got tracking sheets in there. It's all there. Like, if you guys would have watched the video, you would have seen where it's at. It's literally called the quick question spreadsheet. And you guys can go to it. And it's got all that information there. And here's another thing, Jay, if you want to add anything to that and then shoot me the link, and then I can just re-upload it for everybody.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no problem with that.
Yeah, just basically just like purchase price and just the balloons, like I guess like some are down 5 to 7 for anything over 150 and then whatever, et cetera, et cetera. So it'd be easier for them to plug it in, I guess.
Yeah, it's in there. It's on the sheet.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, I guess they can get it from there.
No problem. And again, anyone, this is anybody. If any of you guys, and it's just like the calculator. You click on the sheet, and if you want to edit it, you don't have to, but if you want to edit the sheet, add anything to it, make other tabs for notes or whatever, go to File in the top left corner, click Make Copy, save it, and then you can edit the sheet. And if you edit it to where it has something that you've included that you think is important for everyone to see, just let me know, and I'll re-upload your link, and that'll be the new link that everyone sees by default. Elena, what's up?
Hey, Sean. So I have, like I told you the other day, I was dispoing some properties, seller finance for a team here in Vegas. And when I put in on the calculator just to see why they're not moving.
Mhm.
I'm getting a negative on the cash on cash return and a negative on the ROI.
I mean, that would make sense to why they're not moving.
Right.
I guess well, go ahead and finish. I don't want to go ahead and finish.
So I guess, how do you figure in the lot rent if it's a mobile home?
I would put the lot rent on the cash to seller, like the monthly finance payment if it's a seller finance deal. Now, there isn't a spot for that on the calculator, but it essentially means the exact same thing. Or if there's no HOA, you can literally take the lot rent, multiply it by 12 for the year, and then put it in the spot for the HOA. It's going to do the exact same thing. Basically, what it's going to do is calculate a monthly expense for the buyer. And the calculator will calculate that and tell you what the numbers are accordingly.
Okay.
So it all depends on how you want to input it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you want to do one?
Yeah, real quick. I just want to give
right now.
you I want to give you the numbers of this one. The interest rate is super high, but that may be part of the problem.
Could be. Okay. Let's see. Is it a seller finance?
Yes, seller finance.
All right. What's the purchase price?
So total purchase price is $130,000.
Okay. And the seller finance amount?
$95,000.
Okay. And your down payment?
$30,000.
Okay. And what will it rent for?
That I don't have.
Your down payment doesn't make sense. If the total purchase price is $30,000, then the down payment is $30,000, then the seller finance amount should be $100,000, right? Because 100 seller finance plus 30 down payment equals 130 purchase price.
Well, it's 11.2 interest also.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that doesn't affect the purchase price.
Okay.
Wait, what has 11.2 interest? Does this have a mortgage on it?
Seller finance loan, monthly payment $925, lot rent $850, escrow $149.
Okay, so it does have a mortgage. So then this would be a hybrid. Okay, so then do you have the mortgage balance?
It's not giving me mortgage balance. It just says total monthly payment of $1,923.86.
What'll it rent for?
Mortgage of $925, lot rent $850, escrow $149.
Okay, so then it's doing a lot rent of $850, and then it's also doing what was the other payment? Oops.
Escrow $149.
Okay. And then what was the other one? The last one? $950. The mortgage payment.
Oh, mortgage $925.
$925. Okay, and then you said it'll rent for how much?
I don't have that on here, but so totally monthly payment, would that be rental $1,923?
No, I think the total monthly payment is the cost for living in this property, because I'm getting $1,924 for adding up the three numbers that you just gave me.
Okay.
So I would need to know this is a mobile home, right?
Right.
I would need to know what this mobile home can rent for, but I can tell you this. If the mobile home rents for less than $2,700, it's not a deal. It makes sense. It's not a deal. It'll be a negative cash on cash return. And here's the other thing too. Mobile homes are really hard to move because, again, putting yourself in the buyer's position, who's going to buy it? What are we asking the buyer to do, the investor to do? We're asking them to pay $925 for rent plus $850. I'm sorry, $925 for the mortgage plus $850 for land rent plus $150 a month in escrow payments. And then the rent, whatever's left probably isn't very much, if anything, which is probably why it came in negative.
Okay.
But in order to truly figure out what the real numbers are, I would need to know what the property would rent for.
Okay. So that would be on Redfin?
Yeah, you can pull it off of Redfin, Zillow, Retometer, Privy, pretty much all of them.
Okay, let
Home
me.
ads. You want to pull that, and then I'll take another question and just let me know when
Yeah.
you have it. Okay. DJ, what's up?
Hey, I need to ask about the assignment fee. I know like a couple of minutes ago you said about $9,000 to $10,000 you try to aim for, but uh, what if it's not 9 to 10,000? What if it's like extremely lower? Would you
Well,
still do it?
I don't understand. Give me the scenario, and then I'll.
Okay, I'll tell
First
you
of
right
all,
now.
let me tell you before you tell me. If I can make $500 for doing some paperwork, I mean, I'll take it.
Okay.
That's me, but I'll take anything. You know, I'm a volume guy anyway. But yeah, tell me the scenario.
All right, so it's can I just tell you the numbers? It's a seller finance.
Wait. Are we calculating if the assignment fee is actually extremely low, or do you want to tell me what you've got?
Oh, I
for
already know the
pending?
assignment fee. I just wanted to know
Oh
if
yeah,
you.
we can look at the numbers. Go ahead.
All right, it's 35K, 32K for seller finance, 2450 down payment.
That doesn't make any sense. It should be $3,000.
That's what it says on Deal Sniper.
Did you change your numbers? Did you clean up your numbers here?
No, I didn't change anything.
Oh yeah, you got to clean up your numbers. Okay, I'm retroactively cleaning up the numbers.
All right,
Okay.
then 3,000.
What'll it rent for?
It'll rent for 1150.
Okay. What are the taxes on the insurance?
Taxes is 423.
Okay.
133 insurance and no HOA. And then the monthly payment's 492.
Yeah, let's do. Oh, so your cash on cash return is fantastic. Let me ask you a question. What condition is the property in? Is it in good shape or does it need work?
Why does my thing look so different? But that's why you changed it to 3,000. I forgot down payment. But sorry, what did you say?
What condition is the property in?
Oh, it's in great condition.
Your cash on cash return is fantastic, but your entry fee is too high. Now I see why you're asking the question you're asking. So this happens when you're dealing with properties that are super low value, not low value like there's something wrong with it. It's just, it is what it is. Property's only worth 35,000. So yeah, in that situation, you are going to have to adjust your assignment fee. Well, hold on, maybe not. Let me look at something. I've never done this
Exactly.
before.
I don't know what to do for this one.
You know what? I think I would. I think I'll double check with my team if you get it locked up, and I'll double check with my team, and I'll just answer you guys tomorrow anyway because I'm meeting with them tonight.
I mean,
but in all honesty, for a $14,000 total entry fee for a 37% cash on cash return, I would try and push it for 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah, I would absolutely try and push this for 10 grand. I'm fairly confident, call it 75%, that I don't think anyone would bat an eye at a $14,000 entry fee for this deal.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's breaking the rule that I started with. This is exigent circumstances.
Oh.
This is one of those situations where the cash on cash return is so high, and the only reason this is doing this is because of math, and that's because the purchase price is so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
The purchase price was higher. Yes, this would go down a little bit, but this would level out.
I see.
So yeah, I would go for it. I would 100% go for it, because if you shoot for 10, let's say worst case scenario you make 5. So I mean, are you pissed because you made 5? No. So yeah, I would go for it.
Okay. But yeah, I actually called the seller just before I called this meeting, and then he said he's willing to do it. So I would just, I don't know, send a contract
lock
over.
this up. Yeah. Go to the Discord, go towards the bottom on the left if you don't have one already. Even if you guys do have one, unless it was specially made for you, I would use mine because mine's made to protect everyone. Download the contract, and then there's a video in that channel that shows you how to fill it out. And yeah, get that shit locked up. It's a great deal.
Yeah, so I did that. That was my last question I was gonna ask is I read your entire contract. Everything is good, but I have one thing. What if something happens in that contract, does it say I have like, is there a contingency clause where I can like back out of the deal if something
Yeah.
like
You mean like if you can't find a buyer for it?
can't find a buyer, or for some reason like a buyer that swings by for some reason and it sees that there's a hole in the wall or something. I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
just
that's what the
just
inspection. That's what the inspection period is for. So for anyone who's
Oh.
confused about this, the way that our contracts work, the way that we don't put down EMD or we're not left on the hook for anything, is that we give ourselves traditionally 14 business day inspection period, which is about 3 weeks to find a buyer. If we don't find a buyer, we just cancel the contract because technically we're still within our inspection period. And the contract states you can cancel the deal anytime as long as you're within the inspection period. So what we do is we look for a buyer until the last day. If we don't find a buyer, we call the real estate and said, hey, we tried, couldn't find one. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel the contract out. And then the contract's canceled. That's it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, yeah, I'll get this thing locked up, and tomorrow I'm already having a meeting with you. Remember, I think it was yesterday. I was telling you I have like 20 properties, all seller
Yeah,
finance.
show off.
But yeah, I'm trying to do each individually, and I'm like, before this property, I told you another one, and it was like way off. So that's why I'm trying to double check with you. real
No,
quick.
this one's phenomenal. I do understand. It does make sense why you were telling me that the assignment fee was going to be a lot lower. But no, I would still go for it. I would still shoot it. I would actually push this for about 15 grand out, and then expect to make about 10 on it.
All right, sweet. Well, I'm gonna try to get this done, and then if I cannot find a buyer, I'll just maybe JV with you. Maybe we'll see.
That works.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Sean. See you tomorrow.
No worries. Don't forget to ring that bell.
No.
All right. Oh, in Discord. It's in the announcements channel. Scroll all the way to the top. You'll see it.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
No worries.
Bye.
All right. Who else has got a question?
Okay, Sean, I got the rent on that.
Oh, all right. Let me go back to that deal. It was a seller finance deal, right? No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. You're going to have to give me the purchase price and everything all over again.
Okay, purchase price 130K.
Oh, that's right. And then this was supposed to be 100. And then this was 30. And then what was the rent?
1667.
Okay. Taxes and insurance?
I don't have that either.
You want to DM me the address real quick?
Sure.
I can take a look. What are we giving the seller monthly? Well, I guess when you're done.
I don't think they have that. So I post all these on my Facebook. So there's only certain things that they'll give to for posting, I guess.
Okay, but they're not. So if this is a seller finance deal, they don't tell you how much a potential investor may have to pay monthly for it in the dispo material.
No.
That's weird. Because how is an investor supposed to go for a deal if they don't know how much they're paying for it?
Well, would it be in the total monthly payment then of the 1923?
No, I mean that's the total monthly payment that's being charged.
Is it the mortgage then of 925?
No, because here's the thing. So the 925 for the mortgage, the 149 for the escrow, and the 850 for the land rent, those are all expenses.
Okay.
But we still have to pay the seller on top of that actually this is a hybrid. This is 100% a hybrid deal. Because if there's a mortgage payment of 925, then there has to be a mortgage balance. So I need to know what the mortgage balance is. Like I can do the rest of the numbers, but I won't be able to determine what the total purchase price is because I don't know what the mortgage balance is. So therefore, I also can't determine what the seller finances amount is. And then I can't figure out what the monthly payment is. So I need the mortgage balance. I think I've got the mortgage balance and the interest rate would be great. And then I can finish underwriting this deal.
Well, the interest is the 11.28, but yeah, I don't have the full mortgage amount.
All I need is the mortgage balance. And then I can figure out everything else.
Okay.
30. I mean, the mortgage balance can't be that much if they're asking $130,000 for the property. Yeah, I literally have to stop. I can't figure out any more information without the balance. So as soon as you get
Well,
that,
it says debt of 95,000. So would that be the rest of the mortgage then?
that absolutely is. Yeah, that works. Okay.
So then that's the seller finance loan.
No, it's not going to be a seller finance. It's still a hybrid deal because there's a mortgage in place. He wants $30,000 down. Okay. Well, first of all, the down payment's way too high. I was going to say that the first time we went over the deal, but we didn't have the rest of the numbers. So 130,000 minus $95,000 for the mortgage would leave. Okay, so then there would be seller financing $5,000. All right. So then if we take this back to 1667, I think is what it was, and 11.28% interest. What about $100? Yeah, the deal is it's a negative 10% cash on cash return. It just doesn't work. And I was gonna say that, and I'm not talking shit at all. I'm just saying when you compare it to my team and the SOPs that we run, this is way too much of a down payment. What the deal should look like, it should be like $10,000 down, seller financing $15,000 a month. And I still don't think the deal's going to work, but this is what it should look like. Let's see. That is, no, maybe 25, right? Because that would be 120 plus 1030. Yeah. So $25,000 down. And yeah, your cash on cash return is better, but the deal still doesn't work. So it makes sense why nobody's picking this deal up. It doesn't cash flow.
Okay.
Yeah, even if I took the monthly payment to the seller completely out, even if we did no interest, no payments for the duration of the balloon, it's still negative $3,100 a year.
Dang.
Yeah.
So okay.
Let that be a lesson to the rest of you. I know my SOPs are strict, but if you don't get a deal, there's no point in locking up a deal if you can't sell it. My dog, who is asleep on the couch behind me, can lock up a deal. But if the deal doesn't move, then what was the point?
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, this one doesn't work.
It makes me wonder what their percentages are when they do a calculate or when they use their calculator.
You're running Dispo for these people?
Yes.
Ask them. That's a completely fair question. Hey guys, I'm trying to make sure that I can, facilitate dispositioning your deals. Can you share with me your metrics, your SOPs, your rules, whatever, so that I know which buyers to target when a deal that you guys send me comes on my desk? I mean, that's a completely fair question to ask.
Yeah.
And then see. But I mean, I can tell you that industry standard is 10% or less down payment for the purchase price. Ideally under or at or under 10% for the entry fee percentage. No more than 20. 15 is still okay, but that's, starting to push it once you go above 15. And your cash on cash return needs to be 10 to 12%. If you can stick within those parameters, there's no reason why you can't get a deal sold if it's in a good market. And by good market, I just mean populated.
Right.
Half a million or more.
Right. Yeah, and there's at least 2 million in Vegas, so.
Yeah. If these numbers were good, the deal would have sold already.
Okay.
And that's a lot of times a lot of the questions that I ask realtors. Hey, you do realize that if this was a good deal, it would have sold already, right? Now that's after I build rapport with the realtor and I can have that conversation without offending them. But yeah, If the deal was a good deal, it would have sold.
Okay. And I don't know if you've heard of Pace Morby, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm working with the regional sub 2 realtor, basically. He's on the Pace Morby team. And so he's the one that's been doing these deals and then sending them over to me for dispo and all that. So that's why I was like, well, maybe I should share your calculator with them and see what they say about going through it and putting the numbers in like you have. So maybe their calculator's just off or something. I'm not sure.
I'm willing to bet their calculator isn't off. I'm just willing to bet their rules just aren't as strict as mine.
Okay.
And the reason why my rules are strict is because it makes deals move.
Right.
I mean, you can actually show them, if you want to screenshot it right now, this page right here, or this entire screen. I mean, they're wholesalers, so it doesn't matter. It's not like it's the seller or the realtor. And just be like, look, we put the numbers in. And here, I can even put in $100 to show you what it would actually be at a minimum. Actually, that's not true. The cheapest I've ever heard someone do or seen someone do a hybrid deal and a seller finance monthly payment was like $138,000 seller finance amount, and they closed it at $135 seller finance payment per month on a 10-year balloon. I was very impressed. So yeah, it's possible to do it, but it's a little unlikely. I mean, who the hell wants $100 a month?
Yeah. Okay.
Does that answer
All
your
right.
question?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to them some more about it and see what they say.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, who's next? Who else has a question? Just start talking. You have to raise your hand. We're past that. That's it? Nobody? Okay, well then I'm going to go ahead and end the training right now. I appreciate you guys jumping on. I will be active in the Discord channel for the next couple of hours, obviously. So if you have a question, hit me up in the main channel, or you guys can DM me if it needs the address. But just so we're on the same page, most of the time I don't need the address. I just need the numbers if you guys need help. Another thing, I will not underwrite the deal for you unless you have already underwritten the deal. What I mean by that is put it into the deal machine calculator, send me a screenshot, and then I'll look it over and then adjust it from there. I will not just take your numbers and then underwrite them myself, or I'd be doing that all day. Plus, you guys need to learn. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.